Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to continue today's media availabilities with our winners. We've got a few team members from Joe Gibbs Racing. We've got crew chief James Small and team owner Joe Gibbs. Congratulations to both of you. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. If you have one, please raise your hand and we will get a mic over to you. We'll start here with Zach, and then we'll go to Marty and Bob.
Zach Sterniolo with NASCAR.com. Coach, first for you, seeing Martin back in victory lane here, what does it mean to see him end this 54 race win streak, especially here at his home track?
It was huge for all of us, really. Martin is just, James, they worked their rear off last year. There were so many times that we thought we had a race, and it was a late caution or something happened to us. And when that happened today, I went, not again. And so great call by James to get us out with 2 tires. But really, Martin, I just got to tell you, James will tell you this. Martin may be the calmest, rational athlete I've ever been around. He handles everything just in the right way in our meetings and everything. When bad things happened last year, he never got upset about it from a standpoint of rationally talking to you. He's a great person and a great athlete, I think. So that meant a lot to us.
And then obviously Ryan got the win here on Saturday as well. So this is his second stint with your organization. What have you seen? What's different about Ryan, over a decade later than the first time he was behind the wheel of one of your cars?
Yeah, I thought it was great for the Truex family. And to have the dad here and everybody celebrating, I think, obviously it's a first for us. Never had, 2 brothers like that win races on the weekend. But we would love to have Ryan in the car. He does a lot of simulation work for us. He's a dedicated young guy. And it's just, as everybody knows, it's hard to get sponsorship. And so we work our rear off. And I talked to Todd Moore. He called me right after the race on Saturday, and we committed to work hard this year to try and get Ryan in more races.
All right, we'll go to Marty.
Marty Sacalo, Rock Sports Net Race Pro Weekly. James, for you, I guess, what was your reaction when the caution came out and the idea to take 2 tires over 4?
I was like, yeah, not again. It was like. Seems like it always gets us, but yeah, the 2 tire call, given there were still only 8 people on the lead lap, I thought there was others that were going to do it, especially like the 12 in a situation just like us. And I was a little worried. I didn't think, even though we had the gaps and the spacing and everything with the other cars, that even in a straight fight with the 1 on pit road, that, their crew was exceptional. And I thought, on 4 tire stop, they would probably beat us, which, given the times, they probably would have. So that kind of made it a little easier as well. And I just knew if we could get the lead, we could clear out there, even though we had a lot of laps on tires. So, and it was definitely helpful that, the 12 and the 20 also run the same deal. So, yeah, it's just great to see.
Coach, for you, your grandson Ty had a great run going as high as the top 5. I'm curious what you thought of his performance too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I was really proud of Ty. We had a fueling issue on that last stop, and we didn't get enough fuel in the car. So that's the reason why we had to start saving fuel and put him back. Or I think we'd have had all of our cars top 10 today, which is so exciting for us. We've been a little off. Everybody knows that. We know it. And so this was a big deal for us today for our race team, and just appreciated all of our teams fighting the way they have to get the year started. So just talked to all the Toyota guys also, and they're thrilled. It means so much to our sponsors. Johnny Morris, he put Martin on live to his entire company from the winner's circle. Like Johnny, I love Johnny. And so for racers and auto owners, it's just so important for us. Sponsorship in this sport is huge. You can't race cars unless you get great partners.
We'll go in the back to Bob.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. I have one for each. James, there was one point in the race where you and Martin were kind of chirping at each other. Is that just normal, or were you like, oh, we've gone a little bit over the line?
It's normal, you know. I'm fairly emotional, but I was calm all race. But he was killing me through the middle there because, you know, it's hard. He can't see what's happening in the race as well with the other cars and the lap times and everything. And, you know, I think he thought that, you know, in that second stage there where we ran longer and all that, you know, we actually lost a lot of time. But, you know, we gained time and you could see where it was going to go. And, you know, obviously we came from the back after our issue on pit road and, you know, all the way up to fourth in that stage. So, you know, we had a plan and stuck to it. And, yeah, I already apologized to him for getting on his ass.
And for Joe, I assume you've probably already started talking to Martin about next year. How far do you think, or how important is winning a race, do you think, to trying to convince him to keep going?
You talked about, was that normal? No, it was abnormal. What movie? What movie? Young Frankenstein. Come on. What's wrong with you guys? That's the best movie ever. Abby normal. No, these guys, they go at it every now and then because they're so competitive. But what was the question?
The question was, I assume at some point you're going to have to try to convince Martin to continue next year.
Yes.
I'm curious, how much do you feel like a win helps in convincing him, if at all?
I think it's huge. And we are constantly talking to Martin about next year. We want him to stay with us as long as we can convince him to do that. I think the best way of doing that is winning races or have a chance to win a championship. I think that's the best sales job we can do.
Are there any final questions for Coach or James? We'll go in the back, the red, and then we'll wrap with Marty.
Eddie Kalegi, Motorsports Today. This question is for Coach, kind of circling back to Zach's question. Obviously, Martin Truex winning this weekend and his brother, your grandson in a car for you, and last year in the Toyota camp, Kyle and his brother Kurt. So how much of an embodiment with your team and just in general in recent years still shows that NASCAR is truly a family sport?
Well, I think it is a family sport. Everybody in here knows it. We all travel together on the weekends. And so when something bad happens to a family, which has happened to us, the entire NASCAR family rallied for us, and twice. And I appreciate that so much. And so we're just thrilled to be a part of it. We love it. You know, we're going on 32 years for us. Our family, I think, always wants to be in this. I got grandkids coming, and 2 of them are already on the race teams and after it. And so it's a huge deal, and I think the NASCAR family is tight-knit and pulls for each other, and they love great weekends and great stories like this.
We've got one last question for Marty, for James, our coach, and then we'll move on to Martin.
I keep the mic because I got one from Martin in a bit. But James, one more for you here. I want to know. I'm curious about the 2-lap undercut you guys had. I see you two are having fun. But James, the final green flag pit stop, a 2-lap undercut. What led to that? Is it with the fact that track position really important in a track like Dover?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I was watching the laps count down there, and just you watch the cars around and what lap traffic were coming up, and it was just so hard to pass. And I knew we were like right in our window where I thought it was going to be okay, and I just made sure we waited to the last minute to call him and to make sure that he couldn't get down there as well. So it worked out.
All right, Coach, James, you guys are good to go. Martin, congratulations. Big weekend for you, your family.
Yeah, thank you. Unbelievable weekend. Love coming up here to Dover. It's been an awesome track for us over the years, for me and our team. It's amazing to get back to Victory Lane at my first home track, and obviously a special weekend for the family with Ryan winning Saturday and his first Xfinity win. So pretty cool to be able to do that and get added to that list of brothers that have swept the weekend. Super special, and definitely really, really happy. Thankful to my team and all of our sponsors, Bass Pro Shops, and auto owners and racers and Toyota and TRD and everybody that that makes this happen. And feels good just to finally put one all together. We've had some real heartbreakers in the past year or so, and you know, feel like we give away 7, 8, 9 races in that time, and you just never know when the next one's going to come or if it's going to be the last. So I'm excited about it, and hopefully, you know, we're going to enjoy this one.
Awesome. Congratulations. We'll go ahead and open up for questions. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll start with Zach in the corner over here, and then we'll come down here to Mark, and then Bob, and then Marty.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Martin, congratulations. You end this winless streak. You talked about what it means for the family. What are the emotions, or I guess how emotional of a weekend has this been, given you end such a long winless streak? You see your brother finally.
It isn't that long. I mean, come on, 54 races? I've went way longer than that before.
You were winning quite a bit before that.
Such a long winless streak. I mean, Jesus. I've only won 32 of these things now, you know. You guys. It's really, really hard to win these races, okay?
Well, that's what I mean. And so to break through that barrier for yourself and then see Ryan do it on the same weekend, how emotional of a weekend is it? Yeah, no, it's super awesome, you know, honestly. It's very special, and, you know, I'm happy my dad was here for that. So just, you know, really cool. Ryan's been through a lot, and he's really worked hard, and you know, he's gotten beat down and knocked down a lot, and been through some tough times that he's had to, you know, kind of persevere through. So I was just really happy for him. But like I said, yeah, I mean, it's there, you know, it's not a long list of brothers that have swept a weekend in NASCAR racing history, and, you know, be on that list with some of the guys that have done is really, really cool for both of us and our whole family.
We'll go down here to Mark, and then in the back to Bob.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Martin, what's the most important aspect of winning this race? You've got the win with your brother. You got your 4th win at Dover. You end a not so long drought. You make the playoff. Of those, what's the most important and why?
It's really hard to say. I mean, I think they're all important. You know, it's hard to pick one. You know, these races are big. They're hard to win, like I said, and all that stuff is huge. You know, for our team, for our partners, you know, for our family name, for what it means, and, you know, being part of the sport. You know, to get another Truex in victory lane in a, you know, top tier series is amazing. So they're all special. They're all important. They all mean a ton. And yeah, I mean, I don't think you can just pick one. It's all very important. But, you know, last year after missing the playoffs, that one's pretty big. You know, miss it by 3 points. You know, I mean, we were 4th in points at that point in time, and we missed it. It was a real gut punch. And you know, especially after how many times we felt like we were capable of winning races or should have won races, and just had a lot of tough luck. So yeah, just proud to be able to do it, and it's always good to win.
What does it mean to win this early in the season and get that part, given what happened last year, off your back?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we started with the Clash win. It was really big for us. I know that it's not a points event and everything else, but just for us, you know, with last year really struggling on short tracks, and, you know, I feel like we put a huge effort together this offseason to be prepared for this year, to talk, so, you know, to really put it in effort and talk about the things that we needed to do better from last year. And, you know, I think our whole team was really motivated to get better and to do whatever we needed to do, and really communicated a lot about the things that we needed to work on. So really the Clash was a big deal to get, and it gave us a lot of confidence. And even though our season, you know, up till the past couple of weeks have been really strong, but up until then it was a little up and down, we still had a lot of confidence and felt like we were going the right direction. And I said, you know, I think it was this week that I feel really good about where we're at, and I feel like we're ready to break loose and get on a run. And here we are. So I'm glad I was right about it. And you know, we got some great tracks coming up for us, and a lot of confidence now, and locked in the playoffs, and we can get aggressive and have some fun.
All right, we'll go to Bob, then Marty, and then Steven and Davey.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. I have two. The first, does this make coming back for this year worth it, or do you not equate that with wins?
No, I mean, I think in general it's been worth it the whole time. You know, I feel good about, like I said, I feel good about our team, where we're at, and what's going on. So, you know, I'm still having fun. So that was definitely the reason. A winning doesn't hurt, that's for sure. You know, it feels great. It's always good to win, and you know, this is the best feeling you can have in racing. So it's hard to say. You know, we won now, so I can't say if we didn't win all year, then how I would have felt about it. You know, but glad I'm back, and I was glad before this weekend. Even it's been going good. I've been enjoying my team and working together with those guys. They've been doing an awesome job, and you know, it's been fun.
And I know you joked that it wasn't all that long a streak, but were there any thoughts of like, man, I might not win again?
Yeah, I mean, there always is. You never know, you know, when your last win's going to be or what's going to happen. You know, certainly in those 54 races, there's certainly a bunch of them that we probably should have won or had the best car. And, you know, I think as tough as that is to swallow when those heartbreaking races happen, it keeps you motivated. It keeps your mind like, okay, yeah, we know we can do it, right? Like if the belts don't fall off the engine, we're going to win Darlington. If we didn't use a set of tires in stage 1 at Richmond, we're going to win, you know, Richmond. So it's like you have all these races throughout that period that it's like, okay, we were good enough to win. We should have won. It's not like we can't do this. We just need to put it all together. And that it's kind of like that carrot dangling out in front of you. You know you can get it. You just gotta find a way. So yeah, it definitely helps to be running good. If you're not running good and you're not challenging for wins and you're not leading laps, then yeah, it's like you don't know if you'll ever win again. But other than that, it's when you're running good, you know it's going to happen eventually.
We'll go to Marty.
Marty Scala, Rock Sports Net Race Pro Weekly. MTJ, congratulations. Going deeper on the family side, I know your dad was emotional when Ryan won, but now that it is a Truex weekend with you winning today, what was your dad like when you two talked?
Yeah, obviously excited. You know, it's hard to read him. He's pretty quiet when he's at the track and all that, but you know, just obviously really excited, really proud of you know, his two sons going to victory lane. So he got the chance to race here one time, and it scared the crap out of him. That's kind of what I gather out of it. But really cool that you know, Ryan and I both were able to win. So yeah, very neat.
Want to ask you as well about the battle with Ross Chastain throughout the race. Where did you feel like your car was better than him, and how hard did he make you work for it? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, throughout stage 3, you know, we fired off there. We got to second. Both of us passed the 24. I almost had him pass before he passed the 24 for the lead, I feel like, and then I made a bad decision there. And then he got by the 24, then I followed him, and I was just kind of in his tracks there until the green flag stopped. Really, I could get 2-3 car lengths, couldn't get any closer, and I felt like I was a little faster than him. But he was just, you know, moving around on the racetrack to take the air away from me, and I wasn't going to be able to pass him. So really the difference in the race was the green flag cycle, jumping him by 2 laps or whatever we did there, coming out in front. That was the difference. Felt like our cars were really equal, and whoever got out front was going to have the advantage, and that's really what it came down to. But it was a good race, and you know, he did a good job, and you know, we just kind of got him on pit road there.
We're going to go to Steven, then Davey, then Tom.
Steven Stump, frontstretch.com. I have 2 questions. Obviously, we discussed all the different things in play this weekend, breaking a not-so-long streak, brother Ryan winning. You've had a lot of great weekends in your career. Where does this rank among them?
Man, it's up there. I always have trouble, you know, kind of separating wins and what means the most here or there, and you know, I can't even pick favorites when it comes to tracks or dinner. So I just try to live in the moment. Honestly, I try to enjoy each one of them. They're all special, they're all important. This one's been awesome. Aside from being bored all weekend sitting in the bus watching it rain, it's been an amazing weekend. I wish it was Sunday instead of Saturday, because Sunday instead of Monday, but you know, we waste a lot of our life sitting around in this sport, and you know, when you have days like this, it makes it all worthwhile.
And the second question is, and kind of with, you know, how emotional this weekend must be, you said you guys were going to celebrate a while. How long is the celebration going to last until it's back to work for the next weeks?
A little bit of work tomorrow, but you know, I'm going. I got some friends that are having a bachelorette weekend, and my cousin, his fiance, and then a bunch of friends and some family, and I'm going to meet up with them somewhere for a couple days. So we'll have plenty to celebrate. We'll have a big time.
All right, thank you.
We're going to go to Davey, then Tom, and then right here in the middle.
Hey, Martin, Davey Siegel with Sirius XM. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You were talking about the winless streak and kind of joking how it really wasn't that long. Did it feel as long being over a calendar year to you?
Yeah, I mean, it felt long. It feels like it's been a while. No question. But again, I've been through a lot longer ones, so you know it's not. It's easy to stay motivated when you're running good and you know you can do it. It's just as simple as that. I mean, yeah, it felt like a long time, but you know it's over now and we can go try to get some more.
This is pretty big for James too, obviously. He was kind of joking in victory lane, saying that everybody can stop tweeting him and telling him that Cole should replace him.
Yeah.
You guys obviously have a unique relationship. Sometimes it comes out in profane ways over the radio.
Yeah.
What do you think this means for James specifically in terms of where he's at in his career?
I think it's good. It's always good when you make decisions like he did for it to work out, so you're confident. Confidence goes up, and next time you're not, second guessing yourself. And he's had some rough breaks. I got to tell you, he's had some tough breaks in the past year on the way things have played out, and it's a tough job sitting up there and make those calls. And it's a lot of times it's a 50-50 deal to, like today, 2 or 4. If you're the leader and you do 4, then somebody's probably going to take 2. What if you don't win? You look like an idiot, And Richmond was a tough one too. We, to pit in the first stage and take a set of tires and it comes back to haunt you with 20 laps to go, the complete end of the race. That's a tough one too. So he's had some tough breaks and some tough luck, but it's always good when you make a decision like that and it plays out just for confidence.
We'll go to Tom and then come right down here.
Tom Bowles, Front Stretch and CBS. Martin, congratulations. I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to thank. You're welcome. Just following up on Ross a little bit. You said Ross did a good job down the stretch. I know you guys got into it a little bit here last year. When you have a driver that's that aggressive, does that enter into your mind at all, or did you just treat Ross as just another competitor today when you guys are fighting hard for the lead there down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, you just know who you're racing and you know what they're probably going to do in certain situations. So, it definitely helped to know that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we were just racing. There was nothing really going on. It's so hard to get close to each other with these things. We really never even raced side by side. So it was more just nose to tail, kind of cat and mouse game.
We'll come right down here and then go back to Zach in the corner.
Hey, Martin. Tim Nolan from Delmarva Sports Network. First, congratulations on the win. And I know you said that everyone's special, but to do it just over 2.5 hours from where you grew up in Jersey and to be your 4th now here in Dover, how cool is that for you?
It's amazing. This is one of my favorite tracks. I love coming here. Like I said, a lot of friends and family come to this track, and I feel like we have a lot of fans up in this neck of the woods. So it's been one of my favorite tracks for a long time since I first came here. Back in like 2002 or 2001, I guess it was. So just, excited for sure. And I think this is the first track to clear 3 wins. I think 4 is the most I've had at any one track. And we've given away a few over the years here too. So really cool to have, have my name up there with some really legends of the sport on having, more than 3 wins here. I think there's only a few that have that. So it's super special and means a ton.
Go to Zach.
You and Ryan Blaney ended up restarting next to each other on that final restart. Obviously, he's in the midst of a winless streak as well. I assume that doesn't really enter your mind, but what was that battle like? Because, I mean, you guys were pretty even for at least a lap and a half there before you cleared him. Yeah,
it was quite a battle. He got a great restart. Side by side through 1 and 2. I couldn't clear him side by side through 3 and 4. It's like, and then finally on the second lap after the restart, was able to clear him off of 2. I got in really hard, way up the racetrack, so he had plenty of room to shoot around the bottom and get back under me. But then off of 2, he got tight and had to bail out of the gas, and we about touched. Like, it got really, really close to making contact. He had to bail out of the gas, and that was the end of the story. But I have always really enjoyed racing with Ryan. We raced really hard together, really clean, never had any issues, and he's a great driver. So hate that I had to be the one to to steal it from him, but or keep his winless streak going. But I'm just happy we came out on the right end of it today.
We'll go on the back to Dan.
Dan Gelston, Associated Press. Martin, how you doing?
Good.
What stands out to you from your dad's racing career? What do you remember most? What was kind of like the memorable moment to you, I guess, the formative moment to you growing up from watching him race?
I mean, for me, the biggest moment for him was winning at New Hampshire in '94. It was on national television, TNN back in the day. They had Darrell Waltrip and Buddy Baker, I think, doing the broadcasts with Steve Burns. And, that was, for me, seeing him race at that level and win at New Hampshire, Loudon was crazy. So that was definitely his biggest racing accomplishment that he ever had. But I think for me, just, the way he did it with a small team of guys that he grew up with, his buddies, and they just went and racing as a hobby and got pretty far with it, but never had the best equipment, never had the smartest people in the series. He was racing Busch North back then. There was some good guys and smart guys up there, and I think he did good for what he had. And but to see him win that race on TV like that was really cool for me as a kid. I was 14 years old and had just started racing myself a few years before that, so that was a big deal. And I always knew that, someday I wanted to be able to do that too. And that was really something that pushed me to be a racer.
You worked with him on the clamming boat when you were a kid, though, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I went out on weekends when I was young just to check it out and spend time with him. And then, as I got older in high school, I'd work weekends if I could to try to make some money to race. And then out of high school, I went full-time for almost 2 years as I was racing to try to make it all work. So glad I figured out how to go fast so I could get the hell off that boat.
Thank you.
Are there any final questions for Martin? All right. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Good luck
Thank
next
you.
week.
Appreciate you guys.